morning. Today we are talking about unit rates, and a rate is a comparison between two different quantities or amounts of something that use different units, and units are ways of measuring. So for example, if you said we were driving 100 kilometers per hour, so that would be the rate at which you are driving. So you're going 100 kilometers for every hour. And so you can see how it's a ratio because you're comparing two different things. And the rate is using two different measurements, so kilometers and hours. Now, a unit rate is a more specific kind of rate. So let's look at, what does the word unit mean? I just have to sneak some English in here. So if you look at some things that have that prefix, so a prefix, and prefix means something that comes at the beginning. So uni, just like unit has the prefix uni. What does it mean? So unicycle, one wheel. Unicorn, one horn. Uniform, everyone wearing the same thing. So uni means one. So a unit rate is when one of the numbers in the rate is 1. So let's go through, let's look at some rates that have one of their quantities as 1. So for example, you could have 1 kilogram of rice for every 8 cups of water. So this is a rate, and it's a unit rate because this is 1 kilogram of rice. Okay, or you could have 1 apple costs 50 cents. So that would be the rate at which you pay for apples. And it's a unit rate because there's 1 apple. Or you could have $1 for 2 cans of juice. So the rates would be dollars and cans of juice, and it would be $1 for every 2 cans. Or you could say you're going 40 kilometers per hour. So the two units that we have here are kilometers and hours, and there's 1 hour. In 1 hour you would go 40 kilometers. That's how fast you're driving. Okay, so let's just quickly look at one chart and think about what's the benefit of writing things as a unit rate where one of the numbers is in 1. And I think you guys probably know this, even if you haven't thought about it to yourself. But let's do a chart and see if that makes more sense to you as well. Oops. Drop in stuff. Okay. So I had this chart in my teacher's manual, and it said for every 1 day a child got $5 allowance. I thought that was a lot of money, so I changed it to 1 week. So you can let me know if you get allowance, if you get more than that, but I thought that was a lot of money personally, so I changed it to weeks. Okay, so if we have this in a unit rate that for every 1 week someone gets $5 of allowance, what's the benefit of knowing that? So one benefit of knowing that is that it's easy to figure out a much larger number. So you guys already know how to go from 1 week to 2 weeks, so you know how to skip count by what we're counting by. So 2 weeks would be $10. And I know you could keep going on and on and on just by skip counting. So here you're just counting by ones, and here you're counting by 5. So we know 3 weeks will be $15. That's easy. But what if we wanted to find out how much this child got in a whole year? So that's 52 weeks. And then we would have to do we have to skip count all the way down 52 times? We could, but we don't necessarily have to do that. So what you can do is multiply. So let's say let's try a simpler one first, okay? So let's say if we wanted to know 10 weeks, okay? So 1 week, $5, how much would be 10 weeks? So what you do is you think, what do you multiply 1 by to get 10? That's times 10. So then you're going to multiply the allowance by the same amount to get the allowance for 10 weeks. So times 10, so that would be $50 for 10 weeks. Let's try it with 20 weeks. Okay, so from 1 to 20 is times 20, and from 5 times 20 is 100. Okay, so you can find out by skip counting what something else is, and you can also find out by multiplying by the same number on both sides so that you don't have to make a really huge chart. So that's one of the benefits of finding out a unit rate for something. And another one is if you were buying, if you were looking at buying something and there's different brands, you could figure out the unit price and see which brand is cheaper if you got it down to the smallest amount of measurement. But anyway, we'll leave it at that for now, and you can do your homework and send me your work today. Have a great day.